Scorpio and Pisces. What a fun relationship. Okay, so we have two water signs here, two of the same element, and whenever we have two signs of the same element, they're said to be trine each other, which is a really harmonious astrological relationship, a relationship that just is natural and has a lot of, I hesitate to say differences. There are some key differences between these two energies, but ultimately they're much more similar than different. And if anything, those little peculiarities to each sign really makes the relationship all the more special and all the more lively. So in this case, we're dealing with two water signs, fixed water, Scorpio, and we'll get into what that means, the quadruplicities, cardinal, fixed, mutable, and all that. So we've got fixed water, Scorpio, and mutable water of Pisces. What is water energy all about? Water energy is emotional, subjective, imaginative, very psychic, very sensitive. Water energy people are kind of mysterious, and really mysterious actually in so many ways. One could say especially Scorpio. Scorpio is known for being the most dark and brooding and mysterious of the water signs, but at the end of the day, every water sign is just as mysterious as each other, and so Pisces can be just as elusive, a little bit confusing, hard to grasp onto as our dear Scorpios can be. Water signs are so loving. They're so nourishing and nurturing. I mean, water is key to our lives, and the emotional nurturing and love that these water signs have to give, it's a great gift to the world. Some of the challenges with water is, as I was saying before, being mysterious, being elusive, hard to grasp onto. Very different from, for example, the partner signs for water signs, earth signs, which are very blunt, they're just as introspective, just as private as water signs are, but no other element, no matter how similar they may be, is as hard to contain as water. Water can morph into any situation, any container, and can really change that which seems impossible to change. You look at river valleys, the Grand Canyon, for example, the oceans eroding the coast. This is a natural. I'm surrounded by dogs. Excuse all the jingling. Water is so much more powerful than it first seems to be, and it really, over time especially, but even with just a couple of short instances of, say, a tsunami type water expression or a hurricane type, it can forever change situations and people. And especially over time, we see how water energy people really impact their environment, impact those that are around them, and really, ultimately, at the highest level, heal them, emotionally supporting them, nourishing them in ways that they've never experienced, especially perhaps from their parents. But just in general, being there for them in a very comforting and, again, elusive way. So, for that reason, water signs are so very lovely. And if you're lucky enough to have a water sign in your life that really cares about you, even if they may disappear for periods of time, they're really not going to be gone for as long as, say, an air sign would. The ancient Greeks classified the four elements as in several ways, and air and water are said to be the most elusive, the most wet, as it were, and the hardest to contain. So a water sign individual, they're mysterious. It's hard for them to commit in solid material terms, such as periods of time and whatnot. But ultimately, a water sign's energy is eternal. It's infinite, and it's just so magical, so special. And even though it can be very difficult to pin down, in fact, it's impossible to pin down. Try and grab onto water. You're not going to get much. You're not going to be able to hold it very easily. However, water sign individuals aren't fleeting at all. They're not superficial like air would be, or even fire for that matter. They really do care that deeply. So we're talking about two water signs here. Let's talk about the obvious. One of the biggest challenges with having two water signs is hold on, these dogs are distracting me. Go upstairs, dogs, go upstairs. Come on, you're really annoying. Or just sit down. Sorry, don't mean to include this in the video. Okay, yes, that's fine too. But go ahead, sit down. Sit down, yes, sit, stay, be quiet. Okay. I would edit this out if I'm a typical YouTube video person, but I'm too lazy to do that. So, water signs. So we have two water signs here. And one of the big difficulties is, as one could expect, trying to get these two people to really grab onto each other, to really have somebody that they can trust as being reliable throughout the little parts of every day. And not on an emotional sense, because when, again, water people are so beautifully in tune with their at their higher levels are so beautifully in tune with their emotions. At the lower levels, they can be so psychologically confused about who they are, what they want, what they need in life, and it can be very much dispersed water, which is just water. I like to use a metaphor in readings and talking about water energy. Is we all have a cup of love that we have, that is inside of us, and that we need to fill by ourselves, not trying to get other people to fill with their water. Because ultimately, yes, water is infinite. We're always spontaneously generating emotion. It's a natural part of human life. But you can't spill out your own water for other people without feeling drained. And that's when we need to sleep, when we need to meditate, when we need to introspect and reflect on our behaviors and whether they are hurting us, if they're draining us in some way. And especially with these two energies, the Scorpio and Pisces, and with Cancer equally, but especially in a relationship with these two people, it's really important that you fill up your own cup of love first. You allow your thoughts, your feelings, your words, and your actions to healthfully set up boundaries so that you are taken care of emotionally first, and then you're able to take care of others. This can seem so strange and even cold to a water energy person who isn't functioning at the higher level of being able to take care of themselves first and take care of others after, because that whole phrase, take care of yourself first and then others after, that, especially for a Pisces energy person, Scorpio, this maybe isn't as difficult, but still for both of them, it's so crucial. It's just like, say you're on an airplane and there's a drop in cabin pressure, there's a loss of air. If you have a child, for example, you're supposed to put on your mask first and then take care of the other person. If somebody is, the child, if somebody is emotionally dependent on you, long-term sustainability speaking, it's not going to work out if you do not make sure to put on your mask first. Because in an unhealthy emotional situation, that person, no matter how old they may be, again, we're talking about presumably adults here, they're going to drain, and they're going to want more and more and more because they're not conscious of what's going on. And especially if you surround yourself with multiple people like this in life, you are just going to be continuously pouring out your cup of love for everyone. Now, you have good intentions with this, so there's no need to feel bad about the past or regret. But it's important to keep this in mind and to make sure that, again, your behaviors, your thoughts, your feelings, your words and actions, they are all in line with making sure that you as an individual are okay first. You are the prime person in your life. Does this mean that we should be selfish? No, not at all. Not at all. But if we're going to effectively help other people, and especially people that are really emotionally hurting and vulnerable, and potentially will resort to very low vibrational attitudes, again, behaviors, words, etc., etc. We've got to be solid on ourselves first. We have to understand healthy boundaries. And again, all the water signs have to deal with this at length, but especially Pisces and Scorpio, because Pisces is so sensitive and so giving and so easy to, they're just so sweet souls. They're such sweet souls, and they have such a charitable impulse to try and save other people. For the Pisces part of this, making sure that you're not becoming a martyr, making sure you're not trying to, again, to save people is really important. Helping, nurturing, nourishing, yes, but you have to let people first, you have to teach them how to nourish and nurture themselves. The saying comes to mind: you teach a person how to, you give a person a fish, they're not hungry for a day. If you teach a person how to fish, they are, they're not hungry for a lifetime. Now, this is a little kind of a sick saying, considering we're talking about Pisces energy here, that's the fish. But that whole idea of, yes, it's good to help others and to give emotionally to others, and sometimes the best, let's finish this thought and then we'll move on to that. It's good to help others, absolutely. It's important that we help each other, absolutely. We're not here to just pretend that we are an island unto ourselves and that nobody else is possibly on the same world that we are on, and that we're not all human beings. And no, we're here to help each other. But it's important when helping others to teach them how to help themselves. Teach them how to fill that cup for themselves. And sometimes, and this is really hard for water signs, but especially Pisces, it's you have to just ignore them, or you have to turn away because somebody is just so confused or so at a loss of how to take care of their emotional needs. Or on a lower level, they're just selfish and they are acting like they're helpless when really they're consciously or subconsciously just trying to drain you. So in general, this is really important for water signs, but especially when two water signs come together, because there is just so much emotion at play. It's important to take care of the unhealthy psychological manifestations so you're able to reach the highest manifestations, which is being able to, again, to nurture each other, to nourish each other, to really empathize with each other, and to just feel each other fully in both the highest and lowest points of people's lives. Dogs, go upstairs. I'm sorry, this is really annoying for me. Go upstairs. Camus, go upstairs. No, don't come to me. Go upstairs. Okay, I have a solution. Come here. I will take off your collar. Yay! I'm sorry, I really should edit this out, but whatever. Oh, this is so much better. Okay, I love you, dog. Please go away. For example, water energy. You have to face the facts. You have to deal with the problems. Water energy is so very sensitive that trying to avoid what's going on is a real challenge for these individuals. Even Scorpio, known to be the warrior of the water energy in so many ways. It's important for both of you, as whether this is romantic or business partnership, here you go, puppy. A business partnership or friends or family or whatever. It's really crucial that you learn how to relate to each other on a really realistic basis, and that you let your emotions, of course, be a part of your life naturally. Denying your emotions is impossible no matter what your energy is, especially if you're a water energy person, or fire for that matter. But especially in this relationship, if you deny your emotions, indeed, that is the unhealthy psychological manifestation I was talking about. And so being able to talk to each other and not be elusive is really hard but really important to achieve between any two water signs, especially these two, because Scorpio is known to internalize and to go into their dark corner and brood, not necessarily out of being dramatic. That's kind of a bit more Leo's and fire energies stance. It's just because they're so used to it, and they're so used to being alone and to being able to deal with their challenges alone. Now, this is an important part of being a Scorpio. is going off on your own and figuring out your emotions and coming back and being all the wiser, all the stronger for it. Going through those emotional, tumultuous hell emotions and dealing with them, and again, being all the better for it. But it's crucial to be able to talk. Oh, right. And like I was saying, and Pisces energy individuals should let their Scorpio partner do that. They need to have that freedom, that space. And so it's really important that you allow each other to